Hello, it's February 2023, and I briefly want to talk about something regarding my story. And I did mention this in a few videos over the years, but I just thought I'd resurrect it because it really shows how they will lie, cheat, and steal, how corrupt they were with my story in the city of Calgary. Now, when the Crown Prosecutor's Office decided to proceed against me with the alleged charges of assaulting a police officer in obstruction, which, in case anyone doesn't know, it's kind of like a default that you just throw around willy-nilly against everyone, regardless. So it really has no meaning. But anyway, I digress. So initially, in the Crown's Prosecutor Office, they were not seeking jail time. In the Crown's Prosecutor Office, they were not seeking jail time. And it wasn't until after the conviction and wrongful conviction in July 2016 did they seek jail time. So from the time this began to the wrongful conviction, they were not seeking jail time. Now, why is that important? Well, one, the way former Officer Kinnell, in part of his testimony, because keep in mind he kept changing his story and jumping all around and everything, he wasn't consistent, and in fact he even testified to my innocence and why they did what they did to me, which was omitted from the trial transcripts. But anyway, I digress. And in fact, he even testified to my innocence and why they did what they did to me, which was omitted from the trial transcripts. But anyway, I digress. If any of that was true, that I almost killed the officers, former officers that night, then they would have been seeking jail time, because we're talking about something very serious. And if it was that serious, then more serious charges would have been laid. Keep that in mind. Like, you know, maybe attempted murder, attempted manslaughter, like who knows, like whatever. But it was none of that. Now, that's the first point on not seeking jail time throughout the whole trial. The second thing is, at least in Canada, you're not eligible for legal aid for criminal matter unless there's jail time being sought. Your liberties will be taken away. So now you're eligible for legal aid. Now, when my trial began, I was beaten up, crippled. I couldn't work. I couldn't do anything. I had no money. And I really couldn't pay the first lawyer. And he ended up telling me at one point, well, you get what you pay for. That's got to tell you something about how that relationship ended up. Anyway, now fortunately, by the time I got my second lawyer, I came into some money and spent a lot of money there, and even paying under the table and everything else, but I digress. Now, it was after eventually all that ran out, I couldn't afford anything, because the Crown Prosecutor's Office, they were not seeking jail time. I applied, and legal aid said, well, no, they're not seeking jail time. It wasn't until after the conviction. And then I had to have a huge meeting to warrant why they should give me legal aid for the appeal process. And I did actually a few videos about that. So I wasn't eligible for legal aid. Them knowing or assuming my situation would have known that I would have had difficulties obtaining a lawyer. So right there, they kiboshed me to not be able to, or thinking they wouldn't, that I wouldn't be able to get representation. That's how low these people go. And they also didn't anticipate my having working knowledge of law. So I completely foiled their plans to completely destroy me. They did completely destroy me, but I mean, it could have been a lot worse, as the fourth lawyer had told me. So I just really want to highlight all this, and it really shows that the judicial system, the police, the courts, and politicians, and I'm specifically speaking about Calgary and Alberta, they would do whatever they want to do. Now what's interesting is when I had brought this up with the courts, the Crown prosecutor, and he was another one that was kept dancing around and not being consistent with his story of everything. He was saying, oh no, we always wanted jail time, why wouldn't we? Where legal aid has record of them talking to him saying, yeah, they weren't seeking jail time. Just, this is the extent that these people will go to. Just make things up on the fly as they see fit for themselves. Anyway, just sharing parts of my story. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share.
Listen to this and write it down if you can't remember it. You're never going to outgrow warfare. You simply must learn to fight. I hear people saying to me, oh, when is it going to get easier? When you die.